Hello and welcome to my studio. Today I want to show you a bit about crackle paste and explore some different ways to use it with a small example. I'm often asked, how do I use it? Will I get big or small cracks? How can I color it? So I've put together a little demonstration to show you exactly that. So, crackle paste comes in different sizes, a 280 gram tester, the standard 1.2 kilogram version, and the slightly larger 2.3 kilogram one. That corresponds to the size of the base coat. The primer is available in two different colors, one in black and one in white. The black one cannot be tinted any further as it's already a deep black. However, the white one can be tinted with water-based pigments, for example, using specific pigments or even acrylic paints. They need to be very intense because the primer itself is white and therefore requires a strong color so that it doesn't turn out too pastel. The primer and the paste are applied wet on wet. So first the primer, about 2 millimeters thick, 1 to 2 millimeters, and then the paste. And depending on how thick you apply the paste, the wider and larger the cracks will become. That's very important to know. You can apply them almost endlessly thick. I'd say 5 centimeters I'd consider the maximum, and you can also vary and play with that. And I've prepared some examples here. We'll test that out in practice shortly. I'll start now with the white primer. It's also important that you always use a clean tool to get the primer. If you don't use it up right away, it's then also good for a year, at least a year. Just smooth it over. It's completely unimportant. You won't really see the structure afterwards. I'm going to do one thing now. I'll apply the primer to all of these examples right away. Here I'll use white primer, just white, about 2 millimeters thick. Then for one image, we'll combine black and white in the mixture. We can also work a little more abstractly here. I'm going to lift this up now. It works really well on these wooden blocks. I'd also use a stable surface. The base coat sticks to all surfaces except silicone. You can also use it on glass, canvas, or resin. Apply it. Just wipe the spatula briefly. I like to use a bit of a Japanese spatula for that. So, and then black. Mix it a little more. We want it to be a bit abstract. Let's see what comes out of it. You could, of course, color the base coat with acrylic paint. So that's what we'll do now. I'm using turquoise here. Ideally, you'd use a small cup for this, of course. I'm just using this cardboard box right now because I only have a very small amount. I wouldn't add more than about 10 to 20% paint. Just see what develops. You can also use the spatula to mix it even better. As I said, if you had a container, it would make more sense. It just works better that way. I've just spontaneously decided to tint the primer with the acrylic paint. All right, we can mix a little bit right here too. You can already see it's getting a bit lighter. That's just the white showing through, even though it's fairly opaque. We could also play around with turquoise and white here, which could be really interesting. For me, it's not so important. I can also use the spatula in my containers because I use so very much crackle paste anyway. But otherwise, make sure you only use clean tools and materials. All right, I'm making a little mix here. We want to experiment a bit. I'll clean that real quick. I'll just do it white again. For the last one, I'm just using white again because I want to focus on the surfaces. My final pattern will be completely natural. That means I'll leave the paste and the base coat in their natural color. And then we can see how to work with it further once it's dry. It's important to apply it evenly, more or less evenly, and covering the whole surface. If you have areas without the base coat, the cracks will just fall off. That's why the base coat is essential. The paste will crack on its own too, but not as strongly, just a little. They would just fall down. Now I apply the paste. I do it this way, especially when I work with large areas with the crackle paste. I try to place small heaps. You can do that here too. And don't drag the crackle paste from A to B in one piece. Now we'll make different sizes. So here I will make some really big crackles. Let's just do it right now. It doesn't matter if the primer mixes a little with the paste, that's completely fine. So as I mentioned, the thicker you apply this paste, the bigger and wider these cracks will inevitably become. Let's make it a little bit thinner around the edges and quite thick in the middle. The structure will turn out exactly as you apply it. This means that if you incorporate any raised patterns or textures into it, they will naturally be visible later. I'm going to make this relatively smooth for now. Number 1 has been completed. Let's move on to number 2. Here we'll get smaller cracks with a bit less paste. This is almost too much again. Let's just see, otherwise I'll put it on the other wooden block. So I'm just going to spread this right over it. It actually spreads quite easily. If it ever dries out on you or gets a bit firm, then you only need to do one thing. If you haven't used it for a long time, you can simply add water. So it's water-based, non-toxic, and you can make it liquid again. You can do this with the primer too, but not too much, just a bit. It's also not sensitive to heat or cold, so it will still work, even if it's frozen. But of course, I recommend storing it at room temperature. So we're going to make this a little bit thinner now. As I said, what I'm doing here, please don't try at home. Always use a fresh spatula to take the paste and don't put it back into the container. I can do it this way because I'm using a lot, but you shouldn't. Here we'll just apply it normally and add another color on top later. It spreads really nicely. Once it's dry, it will of course be a bit lighter compared to as it is now in this damp state. And here there's one thing we could actually do. Naturally, you can also press in a stencil, and that's exactly what we're doing here. It will still crack, of course, regardless, but it will look a little bit different then. I'd like to show you something. You see, I've actually prepared a dish mat for this. So for stencils, I use all sorts of different things. This here is a dish mat. All right, we'll go ahead and press this on right now. I've got a dish mat right here, and I actually use this one for spraying as well. And now I can simply take this and place it into my... You have to squeeze the crackle paste. And then we'll see what happens. Yeah, these are the things that happen when you don't plan for them. We'll just take it out again. Not a big deal. A little bit of color came off. Now we can still see what happens. We'll spray it with turquoise in a moment, which I'll do right away. I'm using a water-based spray here, an acrylic spray. I'm just going to spray the surface with acrylic paint now, because then the cracks will remain visible afterwards. And actually, here the cracks are also turning a bit turquoise, so I'll just go lightly over them. So the last one, we had agreed to leave it natural. The very last pattern. That means we'll be able to see, once it's completely dry, exactly how the paste comes out in its natural color and texture. And now we're going to spray again. We still have these two patterns here where there's no color on them yet. I would spray one of them with gold, specifically the black and white one. For that, I would use a lacquer spray. And very important, lacquer. And people just spray too much, and that's the problem with lacquers. With acrylic paints, it's not quite as dramatic because the water evaporates. But with acrylic paints or with varnishes, you should only spray a very light layer, just a single pass from the side. That's it, no more please. Otherwise, the surface can't crack because it'll just be sealed with a layer of varnish. So, and lastly, I'll use another water-based spray, so an acrylic spray in copper. It's semi-transparent, so you can see that on this mark here. It's not opaque. You usually only see the color of the spray on top. Now I'll shake it well again so the ball inside can move freely. All right, and now I'm just going to quickly go over it one more time with this spray. These are my 4 samples, and we'll wait a few hours to see how they turn out and what happens to the textures and colors as they settle and dry. So my sample pieces are completely dry now. They were out in the sun for a while, and after just one day, they're now truly complete. I'd say they're almost fully hardened or thoroughly dried. Just to show you again, this one was done with the spray. Copper spray from Amsterdam. Here we had the gold chrome from Montana. You can clearly see that this chrome, this particular chrome effect, it truly gets completely absorbed by the material. Afterwards, it just has a really beautiful, yes, a slightly metallic appearance, but it's not overly shiny. Here, I've pressed this stencil in. It's this one right here. Do you see? This intricate structure has remained on the crackle patterns. Of course, it won't tear in this pattern that I've pressed onto it, but it simply has a texture on top. Here too, white and turquoise are mixed. The base coat here is also black and white, the primer. And this right here is my object, which has been designed exclusively with natural paste. So we have a white primer here, and then the beige colored, or rather the beige crackle paste. There are countless possibilities. I'll show you just 2 ways now how you can still refine it. Now I have a little white acrylic paint, and you could for example, say, okay, I'll go over it, use a sponge, and just whitewash the paste a bit, and whitewash the crackle a bit. This is, of course, a covering, a very opaque acrylic paint, so I can use less of it. I could also paint this entire crackle piece completely with white. So you can really shape it however you want. Using the sponge, it's actually very straightforward. You could also just use a paintbrush. So this is how it would look in white, and it's important that the edges remain in their natural, original color. If I were to paint everything with a brush, that unique character would simply be lost. So you can either go right across the whole thing or just do a small part of it, just a little, to give it that vintage character. Exactly. This is simply just a pattern. As you can see, I could apply more paint for full coverage. It's quite simple. For this one, I wanted to make a glaze in the same turquoise. I have some water and a brush. I'll start from the bottom and take a little water first. For a larger area, you would, of course, do this in a container. I'm taking a little of the acrylic paint I used before. Actually, that was too much. Just a tiny amount is enough. It's almost too much. Add a little water, and then you can just go over it. You can go over everything. You can use a different color, and then just keep a bit of the turquoise as a glaze. This is now the same color. If you chose a different one, it would, of course, be much more eye-catching. And you can apply glaze over glaze. So many layers of glaze on top of each other also create super beautiful effects. So I'm just easing the contrast a bit here because it's turquoise and white. It's simply a transition. I could also pour it. I can also put it over the crackle again. Now there's just a very, very small amount of turquoise in it. You can still see the difference. It's a bit more opaque or a bit less opaque. This is just an example. I'd leave it like this. I think it looks nice, just black and white. I wouldn't do anything with the gold. But what you can also do, of course, is work with spray paint. I've chosen these in transparent black now. And now I could say, okay, it's just much too white and too copper for my taste. I want to add a little transparent layer over it. I'll just spray a little on my other pictures. So now I'll quickly go over it from the side a bit. And you see with this transparent spray, I could create a shadow effect from the side. If I spray from above, I can even spray it to be opaque. So I could just spray it again there. So here you have a few possibilities for how you can still work with the crackle paste even after it's applied, but there are, of course, many more, and I'm really curious if you can tell me about a method that I don't know yet. So please feel free to let me know. I'd be very happy to receive your feedback, and now I simply wish you a lot of fun trying it out.